Hi there, it's Brittany. I wanted to do a really quick video, bead with me video, using some of the beads that I received in my most recent dollar bead order. As you can see, these are in my dollar bead haul video, and I thought I'd show a couple ways that I wanted to use them. This is not a tutorial. I'm sure even beginner beaders know how to make earrings like this, but I wanted to show a couple different projects that I'm going to make with the same style beads, just to inspire someone who might have the same beads or might have beads that you have a lot of but you don't know how to use in different ways. So just to refresh your memory, here's the strand that I purchased from dollarbead.com, and like as the title of the website says, it was like $1 or less for these really nice big beads. They're pretty good quality, pretty heavy. But I didn't really know what I was going to use them for, so it was a challenge, and I thought, hey, what better thing to challenge me than doing a video? So, as you can see, I've used a combination of different color metals, and that was more because I didn't have, for some reason, any antique copper ear wires on hand, but everything is antique copper except for the ear wires, antique brass. This is a really simple project, and I thought, you know, the hardest part about this project is going to be getting the head pin into this bead. But once you have that going, it's really going to be a 5-minute project. So find the hole, and don't go through the entire bead, because as you can see, it's hollow in the middle, and you can if you want to see the head pin through it, but I prefer not seeing that in the middle. So just find the hole in the middle. And like I said, this is the hardest part, is trying to kind of bend it without breaking the head pin and getting it in that opening. Well, maybe we'll try going in the other direction. I didn't have this much trouble doing the first one, but I wasn't doing it on camera. Okay, so there we go. As you can see, it's halfway through. Just pull it out the other end. And of course, the head pin part in there stops the whole thing from going through. And then I just kind of stacked the beads going forward. Like I said, this is not a complicated earring tutorial. It's not even a tutorial. It's just showing you what I've done with these beads. I'm sure there are plenty of amazing tutorials online and on YouTube if you need to learn how to make jewelry. Next, we're going to go with this pretty cool teardrop. I'm pretty sure I got this from Fire Mountain Gems a long time ago. So there we go. And then we'll just stack our antique copper spacer on top. And then another antique copper spacer. And I didn't wire wrap these because there wasn't a whole lot of space left at the top there. So I just bent it. I'm gonna cut a little bit off of here. Sorry, it's not in screen. Cut a little bit off. Grab my Beadalon pliers, and then create the loop. This isn't the best. The headbands are from, I believe they're from Hobby Lobby. These aren't the best ones. The coating came off, but they're a little bit older. So we have our loop. We can close it up just a little bit, but what I'm going to do is take the loop, open it up, put it through the ear wire or the earring finding, close it, and then there we have our first piece of jewelry, pair of earrings made from this strand. What I'll do is combine this pair of earrings with another piece of jewelry, and I'll be back. The next piece I made was very similar to the technique I used in the earrings. I just made loops in one of the beads and on both sides, and strung it together with other beads. I got these from the Bargain Bead Box monthly subscription for December, but these came from Dollar Bead, of course, and I made them into a cute little bracelet. They don't match the earrings, but they're still using the same style bead. Pretty simple. Used a toggle clasp, and I'm pretty sure that's from Bargain Bead Box, as are the bead cones too. So it's simple, but it's another way to use up beads that you aren't too sure how to use. Very cute bracelet. And since I use the same technique as the earrings, I'm not going to show you how I made it. The next one I want to show you is just how to alter a bead. Actually, two of them, the next two are going to be showing how to alter a bead. One will be altering the dollar bead, and then one will be altering a different bead and then using it in conjunction with a dollar bead. So I'm going to alter this bead to make it a focal bead. I mean, it's already a focal bead, but it'll be more of a focal bead, I should say. I'm going to use it on a stretchy bracelet. So this is how I'm going to alter it. I know some people are scared of changing their components, but you can get so many different fun looks just by changing it up a little bit. So here I'm just going to need three things: the actual bead from Dollar Bead, a charm that I've had in my stash for a very long time, and some E6000. I have a love-hate relationship with E6000. I love it. I've been using it for years. I hate that the cap, I always get this size, and I hate that the caps always get stuck. I don't have the best grip ever from making jewelry for a million years, but yeah, it takes a lot of work for me to get these caps on. So what you'll do, and I know this might induce some anxiety, but cut the loop off of the charm because we won't be using that. Sorry for my dry hands. I should have used some lotion before this video, but gonna go ahead and cut as closely as you can to the charm. Snip the loop in one spot, and I'm gonna turn it over and snip the loop on the other side, and that just went flying. But now you've got a couple burrs on the top. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to do anything with those except for try and cut them a little bit closer. Sorry, I'm trying to get close here. There we go, much closer. So you can sand those or try and rub them down if they're too sharp to be against your skin, but this is not sharp at all, so I'm not going to do anything else with it. Then we are going to take the E6000, and typically I put it on both pieces. I don't have a toothpick over here, so I'm just going to take, actually, I'm going to pause and go get a toothpick. Since this is a smaller project, I went and got a toothpick because I didn't want to get glue all over everything. Typically, I'll use like the back of packaging or something to put some glue out on, and I can do that with this. And then you can, since this is a smaller piece, you don't want to go directly from the bottle to the piece. So I'm just going to push out some glue. And a little goes a very long way with E6000 if you haven't used it. This does have a longer dry time, so you want to be conscious of that if you're making a project. I would say at least 2 to 5 hours, but I love leaving everything overnight to dry because I don't want my piece to move. So I'll take a little bit on my toothpick, and I'm going to smooth some over the top of the stone around the center. Get a little bit more glue. And you would, in the best conditions, want to leave this to get slightly tacky, maybe 3-4 minutes, and then apply your second piece on top, and then they'll bond better. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on this side too. we have to be very conscious that there's a hole in this bead, so I don't want to put too much glue in the center of the charm. That was a little too much there. So I'll take some off. And yes, you'll get little stringies. So then we'll take the charm and we will place it on the middle of this bead. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh, I love it. So I'm gonna set this aside, usually to dry for a few hours, and then I'll come back and use it in my jewelry. So here's the other side. If you have two charms, it would be fantastic if you put one on each side. I don't have two charms, and this is gonna go on a bracelet, so you can keep it towards your wrist. I'm not gonna use it as a charm, I'm gonna use it as the focal on a bracelet, so which I'll be showing you in just a moment. That's pretty adhered. I'll move this out of the way. We're gonna come back to that because I have another project using it. So look how pretty that is. And if it's not right in the middle, you can move it around. And there's a little bit of glue right here. Okay, so I have already prepared what I want my stretchy bracelet to look like. I use this tool, I can't remember, I think it's from Beadalon or Beadsmith, one of the two. But I use it every time I make a stretchy bracelet, as long as the beads have a big enough hole, because it's just so much easier. You can plan out your design. So I threaded enough beads to make the entire bracelet about 7 inches long. I'll usually make my bracelets anywhere from 7 to 8 inches long, depending on how loose I want them to be. And then I'm just going to use some 0.8 millimeter stretchy bracelet stretch cord. This is a generic brand. I got it, I think, from Michael's. So all you do is thread the cord through the eye of the needle. I'm going to do that off camera because I need it to be close to my face to be able to see that. So just one moment. Okay, so here it is. It's threaded, and then all you do is slide your beads down the needle and onto your stretchy cord. I love this thing. It's so much easier than just stringing one bead at a time. Then you unhook, put your needle to the side, and this will be interesting. I should have kept it hooked in because I think trying to go through the bead, see, this is exactly why I used the needle. I'm going to try and put it back on the needle 1 second. Okay, it's back on the needle. Put it through the bead. Oh my goodness. And it fell, for some reason it fell off. Sorry for the technical difficulties here. Okay. I think it might be a little too big for this orange bead hole, or just maybe a little too awkward. Yeah, it fell off again. So I'm going to pause the video and I will put it through and then I'll be right back. Okay, so here we have all of our beads on the stretchy cord. I'll go ahead and cut some extra length here. This is not really a tutorial. I'm just going to do this very quickly, but I make sure that I stretch the cord before I tie the knot. That'll make your cord last longer, and your bracelet won't stretch on you because the cord is pre-stretched. I'm going to make a knot, and I'm doing this very quickly because there are fantastic stretchy cord bracelet tutorials out there. I would suggest, if you're interested in making them, to Google or search YouTube, because there are some amazing tutorials available already. All right, and then the glue that I always use for my stretch bracelets and that I've had the best luck with, let's see, here we go, is GS Hypo Cement. I've used this for years. I've never had a problem. I rarely have bracelets pop, and if I do, it's before I've finished them, and it was due to faulty stretch cord, not because of knotting or glue. So this one's fantastic. You can find it at Hobby Lobby. Use your 40% off coupon. And it gets a little gummy, but I love that it has this precision tip. And then you just find your knot. And glue. Get it on both sides of the knot. Let that soak in. I'll let that dry for 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'll slide the tip back into the glue. And then once the glue is dry after 5 or 10 minutes, I will cut the remaining tails off of the cord and slide the knot into one of the beads, and I'll show you that in just a few moments. Next, I wanted to show you another way I've altered a bead to make a pendant instead of a focal bead. So here's a bead that I got from Fire Mountain Gems a few years ago. They came on a strand. I've got quite a few of them left still. So before the video started, I put a head pin through it, and I have another charm, and I'm going to glue this one to the front of this bead. So this is another way you can alter. I mean, it's the same way, but it's just another way to use up some charms that you might not know how to use, and or some beads that you might have a lot of, to make them look different than the other ones, which is the whole point of this video. So I'm going to glue it this way. We'll grab our trusty paper here, squirt out a little more glue because that might be a little tacky at this point. The good thing is this glue dries clear, so if you get it anywhere that you don't want it and you can't get it off, then you can, you won't see it once your project's dry. So, which has happened to me several times, and you know what? You can't even tell, and it looks very professional. So I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit, paint a little bit of glue onto the front of my pendant. That's probably more than I need. And then I will put some on the back of my charm. Now this charm is it's big, but I'll tell you right now, the glue will squeeze out the sides because there are cutouts in the side of this charm. You can do it up this way, or you can flip it this way. I like having the stripes following the shape of the pendant bead. So I'm going to do it this way. Get these out of the way for us. And then just position it. Slide it into place. You can see how see right here, the glue is coming out. You're not going to see that once it's dry. And I'll show you an example that I've already completed. So just move it around until you like the position. And if you're not comfortable with that extra glue, just grab another toothpick and you can just wick it away. But that will settle down once it's dry. So I'll push this off to the side, and here's the one I've already completed. So you can see some of the glue, but you can barely see it. It's clear. I just love this pendant. It looks so gorgeous. I love turquoise, it's my favorite color. So what I did was I put the head pin through, and then with this bead, I made a link using 2 head pins, so one through the top, one through the bottom, and I'm gonna hook this together, and that'll be our pendant. So I'm gonna grab my pliers to open up the loop. Which side is the loop? This one. And push this up. It's a little tricky because the head pin's in the inside of the bead, but you hook it on and then just close up the loop. And then you have a beautiful pendant to just hang on a necklace. You can make this into an ornament since we're heading into Christmas. But what I would do probably with this is hang it on a 30 or 36-inch chain. I love long necklaces, and then let this hang, and it's something you can look at and admire throughout the rest of your day while you're wearing it. I tend to play with my necklaces while I'm wearing them, but I love this pendant. I think it's gorgeous, and I will be wearing this to work. Okay, so this is dried a little bit. I'm going to take my scissors, pull the tails out to the side, and I don't cut too close to the knot because you want to make sure that it's not going to come undone. Sorry, not a frame there. There we go. And then I'm just going to slide that knot into a bead. There you go. And then having the glue still be a little tacky is going to help the knot almost adhere to that bead a little bit, so it won't be moving around. But look how gorgeous this little bracelet is. So, I mean, this is perfect. Looks like a beautiful sun or a beautiful flower. I love this bracelet. And so those were looks 3 and 4. And then the final one, I'm going to do a little bit of wire wrapping. I am not the best wire wrapper out there, so this might be a little painful to watch, but I want to show you, even if you're a beginner, you can wire wrap. So I have 20 gauge wire here, and I love this gold color. And I'm going to cut off quite a long piece because I want to have enough to work with. And if I have left over, I can use that on a different project. So I'm going to cut off, oh gosh, I don't know how long this is, maybe 2 feet, maybe. Snip it. Put it out of the way. Okay, so I'm trying to remember how I did this, but so you'll find your hole, and we're going to scoot the, I'll start from the other end. We're going to scoot the wire down through it. I want to get it, I don't want it to go through the entire bead. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to create, I'm going to pull this through. I'm going to find my pliers. And I'm going to create a loop. I have quite a tail here because I want to wrap some. We're going to create a loop. We're going to go back. And there are tons of wire wrapping videos out there. Again, I'm not the best, so I rarely do it. I'm sure practice makes perfect, but I don't practice. So, all right, so we're going to wrap it around the front. Grab it. Swing it around. So we have a loop here. I'm trying to get this tail out of the way. That's the problem with having too much tail. It's like in your way the entire time. And then you just kind of decide how long you want your stem to be. And you're going to grab, sorry for the camera moving there. You're going to grab the loop with your pliers and then just start wrapping. I'm going to move the bead out of the way a little bit just to get it started. As you can see, I'm not the best wrapper here in this. And then we're going to, usually I'm a little better than this, but we're going to have extra from our tail. So don't worry if it doesn't look the greatest yet. Just keep wrapping. And then when you run out, or when you get to where you want, you're going to, this one's a little tall, but you're going to snip the end of your wire, and you'll just tuck that in. Okay, so as you can see, we still have all this wire, and I'm sure you're like, what is she doing? What is she doing? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this up. Excuse me, sorry. And then I'm gonna bring it through the hole. Sorry for the shadow there. And you might get a little kink in the wire. So bring it through, and then I'm gonna go on this side. And you could potentially wrap the entire gear or flower or whatever you wanna call this. I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna wrap just the two grooves beside the top. And we're gonna go one more time. Bring it back through the center. Oops, sorry, I hit the camera. And then we're gonna do one more time. Oops, see, you wanna kind of work that kink out here. Actually, it's gonna be hidden in the groove. So come up one more time, and then we're gonna come through. And then you'll just pick a side to go up the third time. We're not gonna go through it more than that. And then we'll start wrapping to make it a little bit more cohesive. This one's a little crazy, but I kind of like it. I like how bold this looks. So just keep wrapping until you're satisfied. Okay, I think I like that. I think that looks really nice. Well, let's see what it looks like from the back, because you can choose which side you want. So, okay, so then you'll just cut your wrap, and let you wrap your tail there, and just tuck it in where you can. Just so, you know, when you're wearing it, it doesn't get caught on your clothing. And then here you go. And then you can always change the orientation of the loop if you need it. If you want to use a jump ring, you can attach it that way. Or if you want it to be this way, you can turn the loop. This one's I like how messy it is though. But, so there's my wire wrapping attempt. And then this is what it looks like on a necklace. This one's a lot neater. I took more time to do this one off camera. So you can see there's two different ways that you can make the wire wrapping look. You can make it look more chaotic, like the one I did on camera, or a little bit more sophisticated like this one. But I like both of them. This one maybe I would do on a wire wrapped necklace instead of a chain. So there we go. There are 5 different pieces that I made with the same style bead. We had the wire wrapped pendant, the altered focal bead, the altered pendant with this as the accent bead instead of the focal bead. It's nice to see how you can use something as an accent and a focal. We also had the bracelet. The other bracelet, I should say, wire wrapped bracelet. And we had the earrings. Of course, you can always use these beads just as a drop on a necklace, earring, or a bracelet. But I wanted to show you 5 different ways that we could use the same beads in case you were stuck. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and leave me a comment if you would like to see another video like this, or if you had any questions. Thanks. Bye-bye.